In this episode, we are celebrating Forgotten February by taking a look at some more forgotten 90s playsets. So, stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to Nostalgia Syndrome. My name is Rob, and in this episode, we are taking a look at more forgotten 90s playsets. And let me point this out before we get started that I am in mourning. There's been a loss to the family, to the laundry room, and it was my hat. It somehow fell off my lap when I was hopping out of the car one day at the gas station, and I apparently drove off and forgot it. So this episode is dedicated to my black hat. Anyway, until I can find a suitable replacement, I'll be switching up the lids from episode to episode. Yeah, I mean, it's silly as it is, it did kind of suck because I've had that hat longer than maybe some viewers have even been alive. But enough of that. Like I said, this episode we will be looking at more forgotten 90s playsets. And I have dubbed February Forgotten February. So every episode this month will be a Forgotten Toys episode in some way, shape, or form. And yes, I know I missed the first week of February, and that was due to some camera issues and, yeah, just normal life. So I apologize for that, but let's keep moving forward and celebrating this February by taking a look at forgotten toys throughout the 80s and 90s. So, we will be kicking things off with number one, which comes from a very controversial movie. Our first forgotten 90s playset comes from a movie that probably for a lot of people was their first time encountering Hollywood's fumbling of a video game franchise. And that was Super Mario Brothers. This toy was the Devo Chamber, released by Ertl in 1993. Kind of a callback to the Ertl episode that I just did a few weeks ago. Anyway, in the movie, Dennis Hopper's Bowser would strap down anybody that stood in his way or was a prisoner in the de-evolution chamber to turn them into Goombas. Which makes zero sense because Goombas are little mushroom people, and the de-evolution chamber would turn people into reptiles. More akin to Koopas. But anyway, now the toy tried to mimic this same kind of transformation scene by having you strap down an action figure, drop down these little energy tendrils that look more like spaghetti, and have them spin around, and then you would close up the seat and then push a couple levers and then open it up, and you had a special edition Goomba figure that came with the set. Now this Goomba figure is pretty awesome looking. I love the dinosaur head that it has, and that it has soft goods. It has an awesome trench coat, and like I've said in the past, cloth goods go a long way in my book. Anyway, how this is achieved is it's just a seat that spins around. So your original action figure that suffers the transformation just kind of gets spun underneath while you have your special edition Goomba figure in the secondary seat. It also included drainage pipes on the side that doubled as missile firing cannons, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I mean, anything's cool that, launched missiles out of it when you're a kid. Unfortunately, no matter how cool a transforming action feature or missile firing drainage pipes or special edition figure, this came from the Super Mario Brothers movie, so it is covered in a stinky taint of just failure in a video game capacity and as a movie. Now, I usually don't talk negatively about things from our past, from our history, but I think we all can agree that the Super Mario Brothers movie, it earns every ounce of shame that we throw at it. Our second playset comes from another movie, but this one is very much well received. It is Disney's Hercules, and this is the Carry Around Training Gym, released by Mattel in 1997. Now, the Carry Around Training Gym is just that. It is a training gym that would fold up into a carrying case. And it came with 3 different figures. You got Hercules, Phil, and Pegasus. Now, unfortunately, the Phil and Pegasus figures were non-posable. They're pretty much just glorified PVC figures. But Hercules, on the other hand, was posable, and he could engage in many different activities in the gym. Here, let me read to you the back of the package to tell you what all it had included. The Carry Around Training Gym. Now, preschoolers can recreate their favorite scenes from Disney's Hercules with this Carry Around Training Gym. The playset opens up into Phil's training gym, featuring many training activities. Hercules can grip the barbell, the pommel horse, the rings, and more. Also comes with Phil and Pegasus. The playset has a built-in carry handle, so preschoolers can take it wherever they go. See, I'm going to add points to it right there, because anything that you can fold up and carry with you to your grandparents, to your aunt, uncles, wherever, is awesome. I mean, I can't recall how many times I would have to fumble with whatever action figures I wanted to take with me on family visits, and you ended up losing whatever accessories or even the figures themselves. And yeah, that just leaves a giant dark shadow on that family trip and how you perceive those family members. Anyway, some of the other action features that it included that it didn't mention was a large rock that I would assume was like dodging practice or even like punching practice or something. I mean, it's Hercules after all. It also had a little cloud to the side that you could put Pegasus on so it could simulate kinda that he was flying. It also had a top floor where Phil could hang out to shout different orders at Hercules, or just as a place for Hercules to hang out. The outside of the case, of course, featured a Greek theme with columns and steps and just an awesome looking building. That theme also gets carried into the inside, where on the opposite side of the carrying case, you had kind of like a scenery that you could put your figures in front of, and that also featured molded columns and a doorway. All in all, I think this is a pretty cool playset, and like I said, the fact that you could carry it with you is always an extra bonus. And it features pretty awesome play features with the gym equipment, and it comes with 3 figures. So all in all, I say this is a pretty cool playset. With our third playset, we go from one of mythology's biggest heroes to one of the Marvel Universe's most dastardly villains. Now, this is the Spider-Wars Crime Central. This was released by Toy Biz in 1996, and a weird factoid, there were 3 different Crime Centrals released in 1996 by Toy Biz. 2 of those had the Kingpin moniker attached to them, and one was a stunt, like Spectacular Spider-Man, that just featured a play feature that you could launch Spider-Man, like a little PVC figure Spider-Man. The other one was specifically made for the Spider-Man minifigures, and it's like a 3-story with penthouse, just really big and awesome playset that I'm sure we'll talk about another day. Now this one does not have the Kingpin moniker attached to it, but it's themed to be Kingpin's like penthouse offices. This thing has some awesome play features with it. Everything from a cannon specifically made to shoot down Spider-Man. It's got a web line on the side for Spider-Man to swing on, a spinning Spider Slayer robot, a command center / desk for Kingpin to sit behind, and an intruder detention cell. This thing boasts that once it's folded out, it's over 30 inches in width. But it can be folded up and taken with you because it's also a carrying case playset, and like we just went over, I love that. As far as playsets go, I can see this thing working for any of your 3 3/4 or 4-inch action figures at the time. I mean, this could stand in as Tomax and Zaymot's office building for your G.I. Joe toys, or just a random awesome sci-fi building for Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, or whatever. Like I said, it folds out to be over 30 inches in width, and that gives you a lot of area to play with. It's very wide open, and all the play features seem to be very well laid out within its structure. And it has one thing that I forgot to mention. A little zip line that attaches from one side to the other for Spider-Man or whomever to slide back and forth within the playset. I was always a big fan of the Toy Biz Marvel Universe action figures, and throughout the years they just got a lot better and more articulated and just were some hands down great action figures. This playset would have been a great addition to my collection, and I could see such great opportunities for it to be just a decoration or a great background for like action figure photography. This thing looks great and has so many action features that would make it just a perfect playset for anybody in the 90s. Our 4th playset comes from the Biker Mice from Mars toy line, and it was released by Galoob in 1993. This is the Scoreboard Hideout. Now, the Scoreboard Hideout has some really great action features, accessories, and possibilities for playability. Now, I've never watched the show, I've never had any of the toys, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but did the Biker Mice ever hang out in a Scoreboard Hideout? Either way, this thing looks awesome. It has everything from like a gym with different barbells and accessories for, weightlifting and stuff like that, to a basketball net. It has a firing cannon. It comes with a mechanics shop, a hidden mechanics shop at that comes with various tools. I mean, this thing was built for playability, and they did not skimp out. I mean, Galoob, they really gave a lot with this playset. And it has a breakaway scoreboard for when the Biker Mice need to make a quick getaway, they can just smash through it. I mean, this thing is a couple layers, and right there, that adds a lot of awesome playability. And it comes with various like grappling hooks and things for, I assume, to like lift up your bike to work on it, or pick up a villain if they stumble upon your hideout, or pick up the Biker Mice to do awesome stunts and stuff. I don't know what you could do with them, but it was awesome that they included them. You add all that together and you have a pretty slick and action-packed playset. And like I said, never watched the cartoon, never had any of the toys, not even a fan, but I'm definitely a fan of this playset. Oh, and I cannot forget to point out one of the other play features that it has. And believe me, I love how the back of the box points this out. It is a super hip hot dog stand. Ladies and gentlemen, what more do you need? I have talked enough about this awesome playset, so now let's let the original commercial do some talking.
Someone's stinking up Quigley Field. Lawrence Limburger. You know what that means. Let's rock and ride! Yo, catch this, fish face. Next up, Grease Pit. Clean up your act, sludge ball. Quigley Field Scoreboard, where biker mice hang out. Shooting hoops, pumping iron. Non-stop biker mice action. Is this place cool or what? Biker mice from Mars, Quigley Field Scoreboard playset. Figures and bites each sold separately. You put it together, new from Galoob.
For our fifth and final Forgotten 90s playset, let's travel back to the year 1992, when Saturday mornings saw the return of the 1974 classic Land of the Lost. Now, the remake wasn't as classic as the original, but I enjoyed watching it, and it had some awesome costumes and characters. This dude not being one of them. Anyway, this toy line was made by Tiger Toys. Yes, the same Tiger Toys that made those little portable arcade games that kind of sucked, but were awesome at the same time. Anyway, this is the Porter's Treehouse playset. First things first, what I see when I look at this is a perfect addition to your Kenner Ewok Village, if you still have one kicking around, which unfortunately I don't. But this treehouse would fit perfectly with a lot of different toy lines and would be a perfect addition to anyone's collection. Anyway, this thing has a lot of pretty neat play features, so I'm going to take a look at the back of the box and you can do the same right here on the screen. So first things first, it has a spinning windmill. It has a speaker with 3 alarm sounds, so I assume batteries are not included. It has a manually released Dino Basher. Okay, that's cool. The front of the box says it's a wind-up Dino Basher, so I'm not sure how that works, but we'll figure that out shortly. It has a log roll booby trap, which again would be something the Ewoks would do, so yep, this would work perfectly. It has a retractable ladder. Cool. It has opening doors and windows. Always a great addition. And it features a hidden battery compartment. It's not really a play feature, but thanks for telling us about it. It also comes with Treehouse furniture. I mean, again, that furniture would work for so many different action figure lines. I mean, you could see your G.I. Joe figures hanging out here, and of course, your Ewok figures and the heroes of Star Wars, like I've mentioned before. I see unlimited potential out of this treehouse. I mean, it's simple, and simplicity goes a long way when you're mixing your playtime universes together. And another feature that the front of the box points out that I just noticed is you can get up to $5 back with Energizer batteries. What other battery-operated toys were going to give you money back? I mean, this thing is win-win across the board. Now, I do have to point out on the front of the package as well, I assume this is the Porter father. He did not look like that, and the dude was definitely not that ripped. And you got that stupid monkey dude, Stink or whatever his name is, hiding inside, while the little, I guess, Sleestack kid or whatever, that little dinosaur dude, he's actually helping out. The stupid monkey's hiding. What a punk. But anyway, like I said, the front of the package also says Wind Up Dino Basher Mallet. It would be pretty cool if they included that within the battery operated, you know, functionality of it, but Wind Up is pretty cool as well. Anyway, I like this playset. like I said, I see a lot of possibilities with it, and if it wasn't for the crazy prices online, it would be a really nice addition to my collection.
Annie, Kevin, help! Scarface! Throw it, Tasha! Climb up, Dad! You hit the alarm! You're down, Scarface! Yes! And out! Safe! For now.
Land of the Lost action figures and the Porter's Treehouse, each sold separately. Batteries not included, from Tiger.
And of course, before I can even do the outro, the spin cycle kicks in. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by this second installment of Forgotten 90s Playsets. Like the 80s playsets, the 90s had so many. I mean, the 90s still clung on to a lot of those awesome ideals that the toy companies had to just saturate the market. And as awesome as that was one of the things that also killed the toy market at that time. So, yeah, it's a double-bladed sword, but you gotta love it. Now, I love things like this. I mean, I have discovered new play sets that I never knew existed, and automatically when I look at them, my imagination takes over and I can see how to integrate them into my, playtime universe now and when I was a kid. Now, at this time period, of course, I was close to my 20s and in my 20s, but I still enjoyed playing with toys just like I do now. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. Spin cycle. Yeah, I apologize for that. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.